The game of volleyball is constantly evolving. Spikes become harder, the attacks get faster, and rallies last longer. But one thing has arguably changed more than anything else: the serve. As Coach Ukai in Haikyuu said, the serve is the ultimate weapon in modern volleyball, an attack that cannot be blocked by an opponent. What used to be a simple way to start a rally is now one of the most powerful tools on the court. A single serve can score a point, disrupt the opponent's system, or even decide a match. Today we're taking you through 7 levels of volleyball serves, from beginner basics to elite precision. By the end of this video, you'll see just how far the serve has evolved and maybe even try a few new ones in your next game. Plus, we'll reveal a bonus serve at the end that's guaranteed to confuse your friends. Ready to serve like a pro? Let's start at level 1. This is where every great server starts, the underhand serve. It's simple, controlled, and reliable, the perfect introduction to serving in volleyball. While it might not be flashy or intimidating, it lays the foundation for everything that comes later. One of the easiest ways to understand the underhand serve is to think about badminton. The beginner serve feels very familiar, swinging the racket or hand in a controlled motion to get the shuttle or ball over the net. That same principle applies in volleyball. It's about control, consistency, and timing rather than power. The strength of this serve isn't in speed, but in reliability. It allows beginners to get the ball over the net without worrying about complex techniques or faults. Coaches often recommend it for newcomers because it's low pressure and teaches basic hand-eye coordination, body positioning, and rhythm. The same rhythm that every advanced serve relies on. Think of it as the training wheels of volleyball serving. Before you can unleash spinning jump serves or deceptive floats, you need to understand the purpose of the serve itself. Simple as it seems, the underhand serve is where champions begin. But once players get comfortable simply getting the ball over the net, some might ask themselves, what if my serve could do more than just start the rally? This introduces the overhand serve. Unlike the underhand serve, which prioritizes control and consistency, the overhand serve introduces both spin and the potential for greater force, allowing the server to make the ball travel faster and with a sharper trajectory. This makes it a natural progression for players who are ready to take their serves to the next level. The overhand serve is effective because the ball doesn't just travel straight, it dives sharply as it crosses the net. This downward motion makes it more difficult to receive, even without jumping or adding extra power. The added potential for force allows servers to put the ball past receivers more quickly, increasing the pressure and forcing mistakes. Many players pick up the overhand serve naturally after mastering the underhand serve, and it's particularly popular in youth and amateur leagues as the first aggressive serve. Level 2 is where serving stops being purely safe and starts being a tool to control the game. A serve with more power means a bigger threat, but people discovered a different method to serve without applying much power and still putting the opponents under pressure. And that's where level 3 introduces the float serve into the game. Unlike the overhand serve, which dives with a clear trajectory, the float serve moves erratically through the air, seemingly changing direction at the last moment. This makes it one of the most deceptive and difficult serves to read, even for experienced players. The floating motion is its greatest strength. Receivers can never be completely sure where the ball will go, forcing rushed reactions or awkward passes that disrupt the opponent's system. However, the float serve requires a bit more practice than the overhand serve because the ball must be struck with absolutely no spin. In contrast, the overhand serve is easier to pick up. Its motion is similar to a volleyball spike, something players naturally train from the very beginning. The float serve challenges players to refine their contact and control, making it a more advanced skill despite its seemingly simple appearance. While topspin adds speed and downward force, the float serve adds a psychological element, unpredictability. It's a strategic tool, not just a physical one. Level 4 takes the float serve to the next level, the jump float serve. By contacting the ball at a higher point, the ball drops faster to the ground, which makes receiving a lot more difficult. The good news is that if you've already mastered the standing float serve, the jump float becomes much easier to learn. The most important part, clean contact with no spin, is already there. The jump simply adds momentum and a higher point of contact. Because of this, many players find the jump float to be a natural next step rather than a completely new skill. This is why the jump float serve is so popular at higher levels of play. Players don't need to be athletic freaks to pull this serve off, just good control over the ball. You'll see it used frequently in professional leagues and international competition. At this level, serving becomes a true weapon. You're actively forcing mistakes, controlling tempo, and putting the opposing team under stress before the rally even begins. Level 5 is where serving becomes a true display of power and athleticism. The jump serve. This is the serve most people associate with high-level volleyball, explosive, fast, and intimidating. The server utilizes a full attacking motion similar to a spike. Sometimes players can serve the ball with more than 130 kilometers per hour, which is faster than a gepard running at full speed. The result is a serve that gives receivers very little time to react, often forcing weak passes or scoring outright aces. Oftentimes, the jump serve is combined with a left or right spin, which increases the level of difficulty for the receiver even more. It's a high-risk, high-reward weapon, powerful, but demanding consistency and confidence. Many of the world's best players are known for their devastating jump serves. Athletes like Wilfredo Leon and Ivan Zaitsev have turned serving into an art form, using power and precision to dominate at the highest level. But what if power alone isn't the answer? What if the most dangerous serve is the one your opponent can't read at all? The answer to that is the hybrid serve. The player starts the serve by tossing the ball without spin. While he then approaches the ball, he can decide if it will be a jump floater or a jump serve. This split second of uncertainty is what makes the hybrid serve so effective. Receivers are forced to decide early, and when that decision is wrong, the result is usually a broken play or an easy point. The hybrid serve is most often used by advanced players who already have strong control over both jump serves and jump float serves. At this level, serving becomes a psychological battle. And that brings us to the final level, where serving isn't about how you hit the ball, but where you place it. Level 7 is where serving reaches its highest level, precision. At this stage, the question is no longer how you serve, but where and why. The 4 most common ways to do that are the short serve, where you serve directly behind the net, the deep serve, where you serve to the backline of the opponent's field, the gap serve, where you aim between 2 players, and the direct serve, where you aim for a specific player, which may struggle to receive the ball. This is where volleyball becomes a game of chess. You're reading body language, watching positioning, and predicting movement. A well-placed serve can completely dismantle an opponent's system before the rally even begins. Elite setters and leaders like Bruno Resende and Micah Christensen excel at this level. They understand that raw power alone doesn't win matches. Precision does. At level 7, the serve becomes a weapon of intelligence. It's no longer about how hard you hit the ball, but how smartly you place it. Master this level and you're no longer just serving. You're commanding the game. Since you made it this far into the video, I want to show you the bonus serve. This serve doesn't always make sense, but always makes an impression. Some might know this serve already, but for those of you who don't, we're talking about the skyball serve. The idea is simple. Send the ball extremely high into the air, forcing the receiver to track it for an unusually long time. And while it might look easy at first, that long hang time messes with depth perception, timing, and communication in ways most players aren't prepared for. The skyball works especially well in gyms with high ceilings or in beach volleyball, where wind and sunlight add even more unpredictability. Players often lose sight of the ball, misjudge its landing point, or hesitate just long enough to turn an easy receive into a mistake. It's not the most practical serve, but it's incredibly effective when used at the right moment. A player who popularized the skyball was Adrian Karambula, also known as Mr. Skyball, who used this serve in official matches, proving that even unconventional tools can work. So if you're looking to surprise your opponents, confuse your friends, or simply add some fun to your game, the skyball might be your secret weapon. The serve has come a long way, from a simple underhand to powerful jump serves, to precise shots that can decide a match. What was once just a way to start the rally is now one of volleyball's most important weapons. No matter your level, there's always a next step. More power, more deception, more precision, or even just a fun skyball to surprise your friends. Which serve do you use most or want to try next? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who loves volleyball. If you want to watch more of our videos, here's one of our player documentaries. Feel free to check them out.